Hi friends, my name is Baji. Welcome to our channel. This is module number 6 in the performance testing must have skills series. If you haven't watched the previous videos of the series, please watch them first and then continue this video. In today's video, we will dive into the details of the popular performance testing tools. In this industry, any tool, whether it is a testing tool or the tool used by the developers, falls into two main categories. This division helps users navigate and understand the different functionalities and purposes of these tools and help them in the selection process based on specific needs. So the two categories are open source and commercial. Let's quickly go through the differences to understand these two categories. Open source software allows users to access, modify and distribute the source code freely. It is typically developed and maintained by a community of contributors, whereas commercial software is proprietary and usually requires purchasing a license for use. The source code is not accessible or modifiable by users. Support for open source software often relies on community forums, user groups and contributions from the community. Some companies may offer support but usually as a separate service, whereas commercial software providers typically offer dedicated customer support, regular updates and maintenance as part of the license agreement. In case of any challenges, users may receive direct assistance from the software company. Open source software is often free to use, but costs may arise from support services, customizations or integration efforts, whereas commercial software usually involves upfront costs for licensing and may have additional fees for support, updates or premium features. Now let's explore a few of the widely used performance testing tools available today. They are loadrunner, jmeter, neoload and gatling. To understand the reason for choosing them as popular, let's quickly open the browser and navigate the Naukri job portal website. To save our time, I have already opened naukri.com website in my browser. So once you opened it, look for performance testing jobs. Let's quickly go through the tool requirement from each company to understand what are all the different tools that they are expecting. In my list, I have performance test engineer from Randstad as a first job position. In your case, it might be a different case. So the objective here is to understand the tools requirement. So this company is expecting a person with 4 to 6 years with a loadrunner and jmeter tool skill set. So if you know loadrunner and jmeter, and you can very well apply to this job position. Okay, let's quickly go through further. So again, here performance test engineer from City of Finance. Here also they are looking for loadrunner and jmeter, and performance test engineer from Infosys. They are also looking for loadrunner and jmeter, and this is from Quest Global. They are looking for jmeter, and this is another job. Here also they are looking for neoload, loadrunner and jmeter. So here also they are looking for jmeter and loadrunner. Again, loadrunner and jmeter. So if you understand these job patterns, we can very well sense that loadrunner and jmeter are most popular tools used by different companies. So that is why I have mentioned these are the popular performance testing tools. Now let's quickly go through all those 4 tools to understand them on a high level. So to save our time, I have opened tool Wikipedia page to go over the details. Don't worry, I will share all these links in the video description. Okay, so the first one is the loadrunner. So loadrunner is a software testing tool from OpenText. It is used to test application measuring system behavior and performance under load. So using loadrunner, we can assess the application performance. Basically, loadrunner is Mercury tool, and then later in November 2006, HP acquired Mercury products. That is why in the past it is calling as HP loadrunner. So in September 2016, HP announced it's selling its software business including Mercury products to Micro Focus. So after HP, Micro Focus acquired this loadrunner, and now OpenText acquired Micro Focus products. So that is why loadrunner is now called as a OpenText product. And here you can see there are different components of this loadrunner, and in the history page they have specified the versions and their release date. So the first version is released back in November 1993. Okay, and then the second version is July 1994, and so on and so forth. The reason why we have different versions is in any product or any tool that the company is developing, they may have some bugs or they may have some enhancement requests. To fulfill those, they will release a new version. So that is why we can see different versions of loadrunner. So the latest version of this loadrunner is 2023 R1, which is released in July 2023, and these are all the different enhancements that they released as part of this version. Okay, and loadrunner scripts usually created using ANSI programming language. So if you want to develop any scripts using loadrunner, then you should have some basic C language knowledge. And loadrunner scripts can also be called from Jenkins. So we can also integrate these loadrunner scripts using CI/CD pipelines. In addition to that, loadrunner enables testers to run Apache jmeter scripts from controller. So in loadrunner, you can also execute the jmeter script. And the important point is that loadrunner is a commercial tool. It's not a open source. So if you want to use loadrunner, then you may need to buy license from OpenText. So the next tool in our list is Apache jmeter. Basically, Apache jmeter is an Apache project that can be used as a load testing tool for analyzing and measuring the performance of variety of services with focus on web applications. So jmeter is another performance testing tool which will be used to assess the web applications performance. We can see different releases of jmeter. The first version was released back in 1998 December, and then there are so many new releases, and the latest one is 5.6.2. You should also remember the release number, because sometimes in the interviews the interviewer might be asking you to tell the version that you are using. So let's say if you are saying jmeter, then you should remember at least one of these release number, so you can explain that to the interviewer. Okay, so jmeter is an open source tool. That means this source code is available for anyone. So if anybody is interested, or if anybody knows Java and they wanted to contribute to this project, they can very well do that. Any open source projects basically hosted on GitHub. Basically GitHub allows developers to store and manage their code. So this is the Apache jmeter code repository, so where we can see the actual code of the jmeter, and you can also find different information on this page. For example, we can see what is the latest release, 5.6.1, which is released on July 10th, and there are total 69 contributors working on this jmeter project. And you can also see what are all the different languages that these developers or contributors use to develop the jmeter. So 91% of this code is written in Java, and there are Kotlin, Groovy, HTML also used. If you are interested and you want to contribute the code to this jmeter project, you can go to the contributing.md file, where they have given all the details how to contribute to this project. So you can follow these instructions and then start contributing to this jmeter project. Okay, so the next tool in our list is neoload. Neoload is another performance testing tool developed by Neotis. So the first version was released back in March 2005, and after that there are so many other releases, and the latest one is 7.9. So every tool has their own user interface for developing the scripts or executing the tests. So in Neoload, its scripts are developed via a graphical user interface, which provides conditions, loops, and other programming structures. So in Neoload, you don't need to write any scripts as such. However, if you want to do some more advanced things, then you can use JavaScript like password encryption, etc. Okay, you can also go through this page to understand what it supports. For example, it supports basic digest, NTLM, and form-based authentication. It can record HTTP and HTTPS requests and play them back, and supports client certification authentication. On March 2021, Neotis was acquired by Tricentis. Now, this Neoload is a proprietary solution of Triocentis. So if somebody wants to use this Neoload, then they have to acquire license from Tricentis. Okay, and the final one on our list is Gatling. Gatling is a load and performance testing framework based on Scala. The first stable release was published on January 13, 2020. They have given some history of this tool. Like in 2015, Gatling founder Stephen Landley created a company called Gatling Corp and dedicated the development of the open source project. So again, Gatling is another open source tool that can be used for free. The only difference from other tools versus this, we don't have any user interface. Most of the things in Gatling will be managed using the code. So if you are more comfortable writing code, then this might be your go-to tool for doing the performance testing. Okay, since this is an open source, we can find the source code in our GitHub. So if you go to GitHub, look for Gatling, then it will give you all the code base, and you can also very well contribute to this code. So you can find the details what exactly the Gatling in the README, and you can also see there are 185 contributors to this project, and 62.7% is used Scala to develop, and Java is 32.9%. So these are the two main languages that they have used to develop Gatling. And if you are interested to contribute the code to this project, you can read the contributing.md page, where they explain the process of contributing the code to this project. I hope you understand high level of these four tools. Let me know if anything is not clear. Okay, next we will discuss different components of the performance testing tool. In general, there are four key components in any performance testing tool. The first one is script editor. It is primarily used to develop the test scripts. Every tool will use its editor to develop the script and support some specific language for scripting purposes. For instance, loadrunner supports C as the scripting language, and jmeter supports Groovy or Bean Shell for scripting. The next component is the controller. This component will be used to create the test scenarios and execute the test. It coordinates and controls all the tool components. And the next one is the load generator. It is used to generate the virtual user load across different geographical locations. It will generate the load on the system by executing the test scripts. It mimics real user interactions to validate the application performance. And the final component is analyzer. It will be used to analyze the test results. The analyzer analyzes the collected metrics and generates comprehensive reports, graphs, and charts to provide insights into the system performance and identify the bottlenecks. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for staying till the end and supporting me. I hope you understand the concept explained in this video. In case anything is not clear or requires more detailed information, please feel free to mention it in the comment section. All the video notes have been uploaded in GitHub and you can find the link in the description. If you are new to our channel, please consider subscribing and also like and share this video so that others will also get benefited. I'll see you with our next video in this module. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep learning.